Hi guys, I just wanted to talk to you today about the community analysis presentation because in the past I've had students that have had issues doing this incorrectly. So what you're going to do in this presentation is choose 3 communities in your broad geographical area. 1 community needs to be an urban setting, 1 needs to be suburban, and 1 needs to be rural. And sometimes you may have to venture a little further away to get something that fits in all settings. But an example would be, I might use Birmingham as my urban setting, Homewood as my suburban setting, and Concord, where I live, as my rural setting. See, these are all fairly close to each other, but they are very different communities. Then you're going to research and compare the transition supports the high schools, the local high schools. If there's multiple high schools, pick one. For example, for Birmingham transition supports of the high school, I might choose one Birmingham school, look at that. And then I might choose Hueytown High School for Concord, and then Vestavia High School. I mean, not Vestavia, I said Homewood, so Homewood High School. But anyway, look at those 3 schools, and you may have to look on their websites, you may have to call the school and ask them, but find out what kind of transition supports they offer at the high school. Do they have a vocational program? Do they have a work instructor that works with students with transition plans? Do they do community-based instruction? Do they have any special programs in the school to help students with their transition? What transition supports are available at the local high school? Now, once you look at those things, you're moving away from the school. Now you're going to look at what's available for adults with disabilities. Employment trends and options for adults with disabilities in the community. This should look at what is available in each community for students once they exit high school. What businesses are hiring individuals with disabilities? What are the options if the individual cannot travel far out of their community? What is available within their community for them to work? What do those businesses that are available, do they have a history of hiring students with adults with disabilities? And down here it says, make sure you discuss the needs of students with mild, moderate, and severe needs. So if an adult has more severe disabilities, are those businesses in that community, do they have a history of hiring people with severe disabilities, or do they tend to hire people with mild disabilities only? So look at what is available in each community for the adults with disabilities. For those students after they have exited high school, now they're adults, what's available in their community for them in terms of work? Then look at transportation options. What is available in each community for students once they exit high school? Do not say, oh, they ride a bus to school, the school bus. We're not looking at school anymore. We're looking at the communities now. So what is available in each community for these students? Is there public transportation? Do they have to either drive or depend on their parents to drive? Is there a program like ClassTran? And if there is, what are the costs? Just what options are available in terms of transportation? Then post-secondary education and training options, and this is where you would also include any day programs like United Ability or Exceptional Foundation, unless you but you would also look at the universities available. Is there anything available in their community, or are they going to have to venture outside their community? What's the closest thing available for them? The closest option. There's not going to be any post-secondary education and training options in Concord. But I would then say, okay, how far would they have to go? Okay, there's Miles College, there's Bessemer Tech, there's universities, UAB, Samford, Birmingham Southern, but anybody from Concord would have to travel to there. So was that an issue? Because there is nothing in their community. What about the students that live in Homewood? Is there anything available in their community? Okay. Then you're going to look at community agencies and what's available in each community for students once they exit high school. Agencies that are available to assist with adult needs. Okay, for Concord, there's no agency within Concord, but what would they turn to? Maybe Voc Rehab. I think the closest office is in Homewood, so they would have to get transportation there. But I would say in my presentation, there is nothing in their community, but the closest program is in such and such community, which is however many miles away, and that would be Voc Rehab, and this is how they could help them. What do those community agencies do for them? What about the Alabama Department for Rehabilitative Services? What other agencies might be available to help? So you're going to look at that for each community. In addition to summarizing each of these communities and looking at their what's available, you're going to discuss how the availability of services and employment, transportation, etc., might impact how the transition teams plan for transition options. If you know a student lives in a very rural community and they don't have transportation, there's no public transportation available, is that going to affect how you plan their transition plan? What are you going to look at? Are you going to suggest that they move somewhere and live independently, semi-independently, or in a group home? Or are they going to live at home and not work or not go to an adult program? Or, just discuss how this is going to impact their transition options and planning. And I think as you get into this, you're going to see how some communities' options are very limited, and without the proper without transportation, they're very limited to what they're going to be able to do. So that's the main thing, is I want you to be able to look at these three communities and compare and get an idea of how unfair some of the options are for our students once they graduate high school. What is available and how does that impact your planning? So anyway, my main thing is, do not talk about the high schools throughout the whole thing. The only time you're talking about the high school is when you're looking at transition supports at the local high school. The rest of the presentation is about the community.